Welcome you all to the SUG Kolkata webinar on the progressive web apps. Today we have Sudheer with us. Sudheer is Sitecore MVP 2025. He is Sitecore certified senior developer, and he will actually guide us through the progressive web apps within the Sitecore ecosystem. Sudheer, what do you?
Thanks, Kaushik, and thanks, SUG Kolkata, for giving me an opportunity to uh, give me a session. And thanks for the audience for joining for the session. Um, Moving ahead, so today's topic is on the progressive web apps, that how we can include this progressive web app in our Sitecore applications. Okay. Moving further, so coming to myself is Sudheer Kumar Suggu. I'm currently working with Kimberley Clark. I'm having total 14 plus years of experience. I'm with Sitecore from last 9 years, and I'm Sitecore certified. I'm uh, Sitecore MVP in 2025 in technology category. And here is my LinkedIn and profile and my blog post, where you can refer my blogs. Okay, coming to the topic. So what are PWAs actually? PWAs are nothing but like progressive web apps. Basically, these are the apps that we will be having in our websites. So how we have mobile apps and tablet apps, right? Like how we have for each and every device. Similarly, for the desktop, we can also create our web application into, we can convert our web application into a mobile app so that anyone can able to access the site easily. So the no need to remember the URL. We can have that like how we access the Outlook, Teams, and right. Similarly, we can also make our website have set up in a desktop so that with a click they can open the website and they can able to do all the operations that is required. So this is a recent days is becoming more popular uh, because it is easy to access and all this stuff. So let's deep dive into this. So basically, as I said, right, so this is more like app like web experience. So like how we have like a mobile app and all, similarly we have the app for the desktop, and these can be used for both the mobile and desktop also. And offline functionalities using this PWAs configure setup that we have, we can also make that application work in during without internet, that we can able to do some setups. We can use some of the index DB that is present in the browser. Using that, uh, we can able to achieve the offline functionality also. Some places we don't have internet. Sometimes we have to use some of the functionalities of the website. So in that case, this is very much useful in that purpose. Like how we have a notifications in the mobile app. Similarly, we can also have the push notification that can be triggered through the browser so that it can be directly interact with the users. Okay, and again, coming to the installation and all, so how when we look at the Android and like any apps in the Android or iOS, we have to use the Play Store and we have to use the App Store to download it. But here we no need to have any specific App Store. We can easily download from the browser itself. I'll show you in the demo how we can able to download the app and how we can utilize that. And this site should be responsiveness to ensure that it would be compatible in all the different viewports. Coming to the benefits of PWA, actually, using this, it will enhance the performance of the application because we actually use the caching mechanism here. And instead of calling though we have the caching at the Sitecore side as well, we can also ensure the caching of the JSS and all the stuff in the browser level so that it would even load faster instead of hitting the server. So that's how it increases the overall performance, and and it also gives the very smooth experience to the users. And we can also have the user engagement. As I said, right, we have a push notification we can also achieve using this. With that, we can also have that pop-ups that would come, right? Like if you open any of the website, it will show, block, it will ask us to send a notification also. So those also can also be enabled using this PWA websites. and it is a cross-platform compatibility. So for if you look at Android or iOS apps, right, we should have a different code for the Android app, different code for the mobile app, for iOS apps. Here we no need to maintain anything for irrespective of any browser or anything like anything. It is the same code base that can be used with the same thing, and there is no need of additional effort or cost for this to make it enabled for the different browsers. So it is compatible with all the browsers, and it is easily discoverable in the search engines and all, where we can able to find it in the Google search and all, where we can get this apps available easily. How we can integrate that with Sitecore? So basically, Sitecore, we have XMXP and XM product headless implementations, and with using this, we can also issue all this in any of the Sitecore versions, and PWS web apps like basically to build, responsiveness, and we can leverage the content from the backend using headless approach, or from the backend things that we can also easily get the data from that. We can also get through these integrations. As I said, it will support offline functionalities. So basically here we have a thing called service worker. Like how whenever we wanted to run any of the Sitecore application, we should have the IS running, right? So in this app will run using the browser based. So it should also have some server to run this website. So for that, we have a service worker that plays a very crucial role here, where it will help us to make the site running even without in the browser itself. So that's how it would basically use that, help us to run this in the app mode. We also have the manifest file. So it has the complete metadata information of this app that would store what the information that we need, for the regarding the app and all, that would be stored in the manifest file and all. We'll go through all these things in the further slides. Coming to this, how we to set up the PWAs. So we should create a manifest file. As I said, right, manifest.json is a very crucial file here. So where it will store the lot of the metadata information here. And because that based on that metadata information only, browser will understand what kind of app and what, because it has some settings in the manifest file. So it will understand all those config and it will try to render it in the app. Service worker, as I said, service worker basically taking care of the caching mechanism, and even in the offline mode, it will try to load and run the application here. So those kind of activities will be taken care by the service worker. It acts similar to IS only, but not completely like that. But it runs using that service worker only, and we'll be doing it. That acts as a service worker file to run the application. And here we should have a HTTPS. The site that we are trying to convert into a PWA should have HTTPS enabled. So it is one of the major criteria for to make that HTTPS as a mandatory thing for this. And obviously we can also integrate with the Sitecore also, this one, and we can also integrate with any of the website. It's not only for Sitecore, it can be integrated for any of the websites. So okay, coming to the manifest.json file. So if you look at here, so this is a sample file, how this manifest file look like. So this is basically a JSON structure, and it has key values, and each and everything will talk about what it basically. So if you look at name, okay, what is the name of the web application? I'm currently give the demo web PWA. So when are you trying to install it, on when you look at download any of the app, it will give this name as the app name. So if we can have a own name and whatever, it's basically for that purpose we'll give. And this is a short name if you wanted to give any kind of short name that we can also provide. Start URL. We have a website, but we don't wanted to have this PWA enabled for all the website. So suppose in some of the website we should have it. In some of the website we should wanted to only specific to the user. Not all the site is required. Some of the pages that is required. So in that cases, or if you have any kind of functionalities or any kind of tools that we have in the website that can be used for the many people, so that those kind of URLs we can also keep as a start URL. So here if I give the slash, it means it will crawl, like, it will add everything of the website. Suppose if you have any specific URL of the website, we can also configure slash that particular URL. From that, all the descendant pages will also be part of that PWA. And display, we have, like, different kind of displays, like how you wanted to display the mode of the, when you install it, how it should look like. You want to full screen, minimal UI browser, but preferred is actually standalone. And background color, whenever app launches, right, it will, it will provide the background color. And theme color, on the address bar, we will be having that what color you wanted to have, those kind of things. See here, icons. Here the icons that we have, right, how we have the 5 icon and all, similar like that, we should also have an icon that when you install any app, for that we should also have, whenever you install any of the mobile app, right, so we will see some icon. So similar to that, it will also act as that. So what are the icon that we wanted to render, uh, we will be having it. So basically this icon is very crucial. Any of this is not working fine or it is not proper, PW app won't enable on the website. So it is very crucial. So basically we have, like, when I've set up this, so this is where it is very crucial, where I could not able to read the proper icon path. It did not allow me to load the app. So basically, so this is very important. It will not show any kind of broken image. So it should be proper working and accessible icon here to make this PW app to work. And orientation, so it's a portrait and landscape, how you wanted to do that. And scope, so which URL that you wanted to show, and where this should have the navigation boundaries in the app. So that and all will be defined here. So so here, when the app loads, right, in which language and all that we wanted to have the description. So whenever we download any app, right, so it will show the description, what this app about and all that stuff. So this is where it helps to do that. And here we have that, in Israel we have right to left an Arabic thing, so we can also, that is also supported, left to right or right to left, so that and also we can able to control here text direction. And these are the what are the related applications that it's required, and all those information will be there. But those, there are many of the attributes, but we don't need all of these, but we can use all these attributes based on the usage. But here, if you look, these are the major ones that we wanted to have to make that app configured for the PWA. Okay, so moving further, coming to the demo, I'll share my screen. Let me share my full screen. Currently, if you look at my website, so this is actually, so this is our basic, Sitecore home page, right? So basically, this is a normal website, right? So if you look here, there is an icon which is coming up here. So this is, if any of the website, not only here, any website which is having this icon enabled on the browser, it means this we can able to download as a PWA app. Okay, so this icons appear, then the site is compatible with the PWA. So once you are doing this, like, click on the install. As I said, right, we don't need any of the app store, anything like that for the download. So using the browser itself, we can able to download. With a click, it will try to install in our website. You see here the icon which will be mentioned in the manifest file, that will be present, and the name of the app, everything will be presenting here. So when I click on install, it will close the browser, because it will move away from the browser and open it in a separate window. So this browser, it has came out. So this is how it came. So this is the color which we gave you. So those and all will be, what are the things that details that we provided in the manifest file. So those will be present here. And also ask, it will also create a shortcut on our, second screen. So it will also create an icon on the desktop. How you wanted to do. Suppose if I am closing this, even if you open click on with this click, and it will try to open your website in this. Okay. And suppose if you don't wanted to use it and if you wanted to uninstall, we can also uninstall with this demo, uninstall this. So it will also remove the icon and it will also uninstall the website. So, okay. And this icon also disappeared. Again, if you wanted to do that, just again, it will be open. Let me install one more time. Okay, now we have the icon also present here. So we have the icon, so it got opening in my local this one. But if you see here, it is not opening from any of the browsers. It is just opening from the app. Now, if I open the website, right, it will that installer icon has gone, but it will show open in app. So it will show because if we already have this installed, it will try to open it. So it will actually, making us to open from here. Again, that one what is present in the browser, it will move away from that and it will come into the browser. So into the app. So this is how basically it will work. Coming to the little more details, how we can set up and all those information. So basically, as I said, right? So this is basically works with manifest file. Okay. Anyway, so if you look at this manifest.json file, this is how my manifest file looks like, so which I showed in the PPT. So similar way we will be having. So what and all the information that is present, so that and all will be shown here. Okay. And if you look at here, here we have things called manifest. Okay. We have to come to this inspect and we have to go to the application. Here we have the manifest file. Here in this manifest, we will be showing what and all the identity, what is the app name and all this information will be captured here. Everything will be handled it in the browser level, not at the server level. Okay, all this content that what we are maintaining, everything at the server level, browser level itself. Okay, all this information, what are the icons and all this information will be shown here. So basically, it try to convert the JSON file into the browser and it will try to add it in this manifest and it will try to show, I know, based on these values, it will try to render on the website. So this is the first thing where we should have it. Second thing is actually we have to register the service worker. So basically, if you look here, so this is a script which we need to enable. So we are actually registering this service worker. So this we have a separate JS file to maintain this. So it will have this whole the logic how this need to be rendered and all. So we have to register it in the browser. Okay. So how to register and all, like if you look at this service worker, so this is a service worker. If you look at see all registrations, here if you look for the demo, you look here, so this is where it is actually registered here. Okay, so our website actually registered, then that's why it is actually running. So basically this, if you look at this is activated and this is status is running. So basically it is trying to read and it will trying to do that. If you are actually unregistered also, we can also do register here. Have to close the browser, but yeah, we can also unregister any of that we wanted here. It was not unregistered. Okay, but if you wanted to unregister, we can come directly and we can also uninstall, and we can also unregister. Okay, but I'm not sure why it's not working. But I think we have to close the browser and all. That's why it will work. But yeah, but this is how it will show, how it will render and all. But we can also play with this, and how it is inspecting and all the working that we can also look here. So this is the one which it basically it will work. Coming to the files, if you look at the web root level, we have this manifest file, which I actually copied in my root folder, and it is a demo service worker, which we already registered here. If you look here, so here we actually registered a demo service worker.js. So this is the file that plays a major role here. Coming to this, so Okay, so here basically, so we have to provide a cache name because this is a caching is the major thing that would plays a very crucial role here. Here we'll be providing we are actually adding event listener and where we're actually giving the caching of which pages. Suppose if you are having, uh, because if you give this, it will cache every website, all the pages of this because some of the website it's little heavy, right? In that case, we don't want to cache all the pages. In that case, we can also give specific pages. If you have some of the tools that people can frequently use in their website, that also we can also have some of the, in our case, we actually have some of the calculators. So those kind of thing we can also have some of the product finders. So those kind of pages we can also configure. So if you have any specific page that we can also configure instead of having the whole website to be cached. So with this, it will cache the CSS, page content, everything. It will try to cache everything from here, JavaScript and everything here. Once it is done, so if you look at here, so it is trying to, if it is like a first time, it will try to read from the server. If it is already cached, it will try to load the data from the cache, So this is basically, this is the method that it try to help you in getting that. And when we have like this is help to always we have to flush the cache, right? So this is where it will be helping us to flush the unused cache. So this is how it will be helpful here. And coming to here, sure. So whenever you do, right, like it will also show the how we are actually registering and all those things. So those kind of we can also have the console on where we can see how this is working or not. So this is how we can also validate how this is working, like whether it is properly configured or not. So basically, these are the files that is majorly required. One is actually the manifest file, and this is where we have to register in that in the service register because this is how it need to register in the service worker where we have it. So in the application here, it will try to register here. The other one, the file which I showed in the notepad, which is actually responsible for having this in the cache. So these are the major three things that is required for any of the website to work. To extend it little further, right? So as I said, we can also enable the offline mode. So in that case, we can also have the index DB created. So basically, this we can also use the local storage. So using this, we can all using this we can also enable we can also create some of the data in this and we can try to read from there in the offline functionality. Even we can also store that data in that index DB, and when we have that internet back and we can also push that data back into that, and we can also use the Firebase to have and to make it more engaging to have that push notifications. So these and all can be we can extend these using these functionalities to make it more engaging, working on the offline mode. Yeah. Okay, so sure, let's go back to the PPT. Okay, so so as I said, right? So as I said, so then we can also have this compatible with various browsers. So we have that Chrome, right? We can for all these browsers it is compatible, major browsers. Uh, in this we have shown in like we have that install icon that which we saw. With that we can able to install in this. In Safari, we can able to do that. We have in the browser, in the browser, we have share icon. In that, we have add to dock. When you click on add to dock, it will be in your taskbar in the underneath of that. So that's how we can able to do that. In this edge, I'll show how we can do. But in Firefox, we don't have anything that is that Firefox browser is not compatible with the PWS. So it will not work properly. So for that, we have to install PWS for Firefox. Using that extension, we can able to run these PW apps in that particular browser. Coming to Edge, if you look here, right? Here it will be showing here this app, how we can share that shown there, right? In the Chrome, here we will be having, it will show that, you know, install here. This is the one way, and here there is one more way, more tools, and in apps it will also ask you to install PWA app. So either of that we can able to install the app. So this will try to install it, and similar way it will again create. Again it will show here. And it will also create a desktop icon on a browser, you know, on the screen. And if you wanted, again, the same thing we can able to uninstall here. We can simply, so we can also have an option to uninstall. I have to check this one in this browser. Yeah, so basically this is all the browsers are compatible with this, where we can able to install all the features, like, you know, across all the browsers. Coming to best practices, so as I said, right, we have to have that HTTPS enabled for this website. Otherwise, it won't work in the HTTP. Without HTTPS, it won't work. So HTTPS is mandatory to be to enable it to work, and it will also not work on the incognito mode. Incognito mode, when you have this site open in incognito mode, we don't see that option. Let me show you that. You don't see any option to install or anything like that. So it won't work in incognito mode. So this is one thing we have to remind that, okay? And here using this, we can also have, as I said, right, this majorly works in the caching mechanism. So we should have that, you know, proper caching that is enabled, and always we should have that versioning enabled for all the JavaScript files, because whenever any new deployment happens, to reflect those changes, we should have that versioning. When you bundle those you know, JavaScript file, you're doing the minification, so we should have that versioning so that it will update those latest JSS CSS files. And so as I said, right, we should always keep the updated files to see the changes. And we, as I said, it is compatible with all the browsers, so it is easy to access. And yeah, I mean, we don't, like, it is compatible with all the browser versions. Coming to the takeaways, so basically this is like, this is a, if you look at many of the websites, right, now recent days, if you look at IRCTC or, you know, YouTube and all, these are actually coming up. So recent days, every website is actually having this same feature. If you look at this, so they also have this, and even YouTube also have, recently they have started, and Redbus also have. So this is actually recently, it is getting adopted into all the websites. So this is to make that, you know, have this app handy, so that no need to remember the URLs and everything like that. So to make it easy and comfort. So this is more getting popular these days. And coming to this integration with Sitecore, we can also, as I said, right, we can also integrate with any of these. And we can, and with, if we are actually having a multi website, and in one of the website we wanted to make it enable or not enable, in case if we are actually using the same template, we can also have the conditions, if conditions, where we can, you know, disable the rendering of those manifest file and the service worker registration. You can skip that. Or if you're actually using different layouts, then anyway, it's you can also make it and enable at the layout level. So, and if whether you are actually using as a XM Cloud or it is a headless, so we can actually have this configured anywhere, because it is more of like, you know, front end, like on the browsers based, right? So we can also have it for any of the Sitecore module. And this, coming to the deployment, and this one we have a, you know, we have optimized architecture so that we can easily able to do that installation. And we can also, it is easy to adapt to any kind of screen responsive and reports. And this is, as I said, right, this is very popular nowadays, and I think, you know, in many of the applications that is actually using, so it is actually creates sort of easiness to the consumers where they're actually using it. But basically this is majorly used for if you are actually having like any of the finders, any of the calculators, or if you are having any kind of, some specific use case that is exclusive for the customers. So it is actually basically using in that case, so that no need to refer the website all the time. So that's all I have. Any questions? Anyone has?
I have a question.
Mhm.
So this feature is supported by all versions, or it is limited to only 9 or 10 version?
This is for any feature, any version of Sitecore, we can have it. It's more of like configuration where we can play majorly with JavaScript, right? So it is compatible with all the versions, all the modules of Sitecore.
Okay. Yeah.
I also had this all these steps with the detailed configuration I've actually added in my blog. Maybe you can also see, refer in case if you guys need this setup. If no further questions, I think thanks everyone for joining, and over to Kaushik. Kaushik? Arjun?
Ashik, can you hear us? Okay. Thank you everyone for joining our session. Thank you, Sudheer, for giving us that detailed information. Thank you everyone for joining. Cheers. Take care.
Thanks everyone.